Hi, everybody. I'm Yori. You might know me. You might have seen me. I usually do QA for Age of Wonders 4, and I'm joined today by Tom. And this is not Tom Bird that you've seen. It's also not Thomas. It's Tom.
Yes, and that's absolutely not confusing at all. We here at Triumph have a army of Toms working here, so
We're up
not
to 4 at this point.
yes. But yeah, I'm Tom, as you already mentioned. I am a programmer at Triumph. I am mainly responsible for the diplomacy systems, and that's something that we're going to show off today as well.
Yes, you've written a very interesting dev diary, and we're going to show off how it all works in game. Now, we have a special fun idea here, because when we start a new game, there is this realm, the ruins of Vassal. It's a fallen kingdom realm. Now, in this kingdom, there was a king. He has passed away, and now his 3 sons are fighting over who is the right heir. So, what we're going to do is, because this is all about diplomacy, we're going to try and see if we can broker a peace between the 3 brothers.
Yes, and that's not going to be easy.
Um, So we're taking the rooms of Vossen, and we're gonna lower the player count to 4. That means it's us and the 3 brothers. So
Yeah.
no one can interfere with our goals.
Your journey starts here.
We're just gonna create a new faction. Gonna keep it easy. We're gonna do humans,
Yeah.
feudal, just typical, straightforward. Keep the spotlight on the diplomacy.
Yeah, exactly.
What defines their society?
We get to the society traits.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with society traits is some of these have an alignment effect.
Yes.
That-
And the alignment effect is gonna be very apparent in the early game as well. When we are meeting other players, when we're meeting free cities, having a good alignment start basically means that we might already get a head start on our relations, where being evil actually does the opposite.
Yeah, so basically, whether you want to do diplomacy already kind of starts in faction creation.
Yeah.
And I'm picking up some echo from. Let's tweak this a little bit. Hopefully that is better. I hope so. So yeah, alignment already influences diplomacy. So your choices start here. Now, what is going to be the effect if we pick Devotees of Good, which starts us off with a higher good alignment?
Yeah, so it sets us off towards the good path. And that basically means that we're already starting at good alignment instead of neutral. And that gives us a small relations bonus. And as we climb higher in good alignment over the course of the game, we can get a bonus to increase even further. So yeah, picking Devotees of Good, that is a good start for our alignment. And then, yeah, our relations with other players and free cities as well.
All right, so Tome of Fate, we're going to play good guys, might as well dip into it.
Yes.
And then we want to pick a champion because, as we already saw with the Mystic Elves, a champion has certain benefits when it comes to at least PvE diplomacy.
Yeah.
Because they increase the relationship with our free cities, which is going to be very important if we want to, play nice.
Yeah, we're going to need lots of vassals.
I'm not too bothered with creating a pretty leader this time around. So I'm just gonna randomize until we get something that looks rather okay. If randomize wants to work with us, that kind of works. Not like the hair though. Where's hair? There's hair. Let's give it a slightly different color. Let's see. Shall we make you a redhead with some blonde highlights? Yeah, that looks a lot better. Now, of course, we're good, so we're gonna go primary yellow. And what does look good with yellow? No, that does not look good. Do for the red?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, and let's see. Randomize our faction a bit. This seems sufficient. Now, the main question is, what is our loadout gonna be? Sword and shield, great sword, bow, spirit staff, or spirit orb.
Tricky. I think that a spirit staff might be nice.
Alright, then we're gonna go with the spirit staff, stick with the magical a bit. That does start us off with a horse as well.
Your journey
Yeah.
begins.
Do you want to be a king or an emperor?
Well, we're kind of a diplomat, right?
So, custom.
Yes.
Diplomat, does that work?
Yes, of course it does. Sets us off in the right mood.
Alright, now let's start the game. Alright, we've made our way. We're in the realm of Vassal, this fallen kingdom. We're just gonna play a bit until
Yeah.
we meet our first brother of Vassal. Well, brother of Vassals. Doesn't matter.
We'll meet them soon enough.
I'm still having this weird echo. Anyways, why is it being so weird? So yeah, I always start with the workshop. You know, easy, gets you going. We already have 5. I took out the support because I want to fill it up with... No, not the archer. I think the pikeman is what I'm missing. Yes. Pretty much just run through the beginning of the game. Now we have some interesting options. Staves of Mending. That gives us Faithful, Mending Touch. I'm still weirded out by this echo. Also, we have Hold the Line, which gives Steadfast. Steadfast is interesting because it means that your units cannot actually die. They can't have fewer than one hit point for, I think it's just the one turn. So we have a tactical benefit. This is also a tactical benefit, but it also reduces upkeep. Or we have our Scout Enchantment. I usually don't go for those. I'm thinking we take Hold the Line just so that we get some tactical benefits going.
Yeah.
And
Let's hope for that Faithful Whispering spell to come up.
yeah, because that is actually something that you really like to use. We're gonna just explore past the path. And I don't think our team has stopped downloading videos yet. So we continue. Is there anybody on there? No, that's a small one. And I think this is gonna be a bit of a dead end. Oh no.
Yeah, but there's an Ancient Wonder there. Might be interesting in the future.
Yeah, it's the Secret Temple. It's silver. And we're definitely not equipped for this one yet.
No, no.
Let's see. You're just doing your thing. All right. Okay, we found our starting infestation. Good to clear that in a bit. And we're here at the edge of the map, so let's quickly dip underground. Let's see. Another secret temple. I don't think there's gonna be any way for us here. So we're gonna move the other way.
Yeah.
Let's plan out some movement there. And turn.
Right, there's our pikeman.
Oh, nice. You... Gonna grab you back for now then, and we can annex our first province. Let's see, my typical is the workshop, is the forester, then I can build the storehouse and the library.
Nice.
And we're gonna now prepare our second army. queue up a bunch of things. You go there. Just do that. Now, we found the Brigand Camp. And I want to take pacification because this actually gives a big bonus to at least all of the PvE players, the free cities, after we clear one. Which is great because 300 relations does actually quite a lot, I think.
Yes, it does. It can give us a big boost in terms of how much allegiance we can get with the free city.
Yeah, because allegiance is relationship based mostly, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so once we find our first free city, which hopefully isn't too long, we'll see those effects after clearing the Brigand Camp. Now, this is really fun because when we created saves to look at this, I actually came across players multiple times on turn 1. And now we're just looking for them.
Yeah. But it's a regular map size this time around.
Yeah, I was testing some things with close. True. We're just gonna auto combat this.
That's an easy win.
That's all you need sometimes. And I don't think I actually ended up picking pacification. No, I did. So yeah, we already have new traits or new skills available. We have the Whispering Stone. But we haven't even used our first one yet, so I don't think there's any benefit in taking that. We do have Fruitful Integration available as well. But that's only really interesting once we start expanding our borders with new cities. So let's see where these brothers are hiding.
We're already at the top of the map.
Well, maybe this wasn't the bottom then. We've done that.
It does mean that we're in a pretty defensive corner of the map as well, should anything bad happen.
Yeah, because these brothers, as we know, are all at war with each other. So that means that actually finding a diplomatic solution is going to be hard.
Yes.
Now we build food, so I get more money. Mark these as seen. And then we're gonna at least take on the Brigand Camp. I don't think we've shown this map off yet, so I think we're gonna go into manual.
Okay.
Gonna at least be interesting. Yeah, so Brigand camps are basically kind of outposts. And I did not necessarily consider what we were up against, because they have a lot of bowmen.
Luckily, our leader is actually a magical unit this time.
Which also means I can relatively keep him behind, because his attack is actually a single action point. So he can move the full distance without it actually meaning that it can attack less. Now the Bannerman is really interesting because it has a defensive ability and a heal ability. So we're gonna use Bulwark Standard, which is gonna give us additional defense and additional resistance. If it wants to actually select. And it lasts for a nice 3 turns.
Nice.
And they're staying out of reach, which is annoying. Move you guys here. We'll move you forward. And we're gonna do the Banner Smite.
And his defense went down as well.
Yep. Because it applies Sunder defense when it's being used. Additionally, the feudal culture, and we didn't cover this yet actually, has stand together. And this means that any attack they do, all the damage is increased by 20% if they are adjacent to each other. So you generally want to be able to, no, you generally want to put all your units next together with this one, because it just increases your output. Also, Yes. Okay. Should have done this earlier, but I am completely thrown off my game. Okay, let's move these a bit around. And then what we want to use is Call to Glory. This spell increases our morale and gives us strength. Higher morale means that we have a higher chance of crit
Yes.
and means that they won't rout as easily. And of course, once strengthened, increases damage by 10%. And let's see.
So we will want to work down their unit numbers as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid most of the direct damage. This was expected. Well, because the thing with pole arms is they have first strike, so I generally always prefer to find a way to attack them from a distance, at least until I can finish them off. And that's pretty much what we're gonna hopefully see here. Now I need to remember to first do this.
So even more morale.
And I only now noticed that there's a Mystic in between as well, which has been getting Star Blades, which now means their attacks do an additional shock and additional fire damage. But let's see. You can't do anything at the moment.
They're currently in the zone of control of the other units. So we
Yes.
need to either get them out of the game or get our unit away from there.
Well, getting them out of the game isn't all that difficult. Let's see. Gonna just take you from here. Well, that failed.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Then I just do this. And we just increase their morale levels. So as we see, +5/+5 from our spells, but also the +10 from the enemy that just died. And now we can do some damage there. And if I had known beforehand that that was going to be possible, I would have switched up the order a bit. Anyways, now at least our... What are they? Arcanists? The Arcanists will at least have to move before they will be able to actually attack us.
Yeah.
And we see our morale effects come in nicely with the fumbles and the grazes. They're not much of a threat anymore. Let's see. That's an easy one to take out.
Oh yes. Critical hits are really
I don't know
really
what
effective here.
I don't know what the art department has been doing, but those effects are a lot more impactful now. Jesus. Okay, they are getting obscured, which doesn't help a lot, but hey.
Can at least try.
Yeah, I'm thinking...
Ooh, we lucked out there.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter if I heal or not, because it's all temporary help now. And that was not so lucky. So we'll just stab him to death.
Oof. That looked painful.
I mean, they hit them so hard there was like a burst of air. Ooh, Boots of Freedom now. That's actually quite nice. Because we have a staff, we're not able to be mounted. But this does give us very fast movement, as well as the opportunity to actually... Oh, no, that's not the one I was thinking of. Still, ignores the effects of terrain, which is interesting at least. 25% move points is interesting. So these are the Feudal Lord skills. This is part of what the feudal culture has.
Mm-hmm.
And each of these can only be picked once across all of your heroes. So if we decide to make our ruler a lord of war, no other hero that we hire can get that skill anymore.
Okay.
Um, which is interesting. In general, these, except for war, I think all of these build off of the city that a hero governs. So we have the governor system, which gives resource income for affinities. And this kind of builds up on that by adding an additional effect that your hero can get. It's a bit straightforward, but I think when you get additional 15 mana or 15 knowledge, that any choice helps.
Yes.
Now I'm thinking, do we want to build? What do we want to do here? Because we're going for a diplomatic playthrough, but not many diplomatic options in here.
True. Yeah.
So crops is mostly food. It's about growth. Knowledge is our research, so that could be beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Magic for mana, production, or we do war, which is increased health regeneration. No, it's yeah. We regain 5 hit points and we regain a quarter of our move points. So we would be able to move further after combats.
Right. Yeah, in this case, we're looking for a kind of diplomatic option. So that means that we're probably going to need a lot of gold to pay off the other people that we're going to encounter and maybe try and prevent wars from happening.
Right, so
So
we're
we
gonna
might
be bribing them, so
we might focus on our city at least growing faster so we can get more income.
well then a lot of crops it is.
Yes.
And then hopefully we meet another free city soon. So we can show some stuff off. Knowledge, mana, always a good one. Chaplain, we already have a healer, so I'm not too interested in grabbing this one at the moment. So we're gonna go with the convent, because our city stability is also currently at stable. And that is
Yes.
partly because of our ascended champion giving us a plus 20 boost. So we can build a new structure here. We cannot yet build our next pop, so I'm just gonna use this opportunity to produce merchandise for a turn. And then next turn when we can annex, then we can also see what boost we're gonna go for.
Yes.
Let's first go with you.
There's another ancient wonder there. One of we might even be able to take.
And we,
Ooh. They are pretty strong, but they're also guarding something very valuable.
well, I mean, oh no, that's not the, that's a silver tongue. This is the rainbow clover.
Yes. Bless you.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because indeed the rainbow clover gives us an even more relation bonus for all of our free cities and rulers actually, so that might be worth it. But they're currently being guarded by a Chaos Eater, 2 Gremlins, and a Troll. Also, we definitely don't have the space nearby to build a city. Did I see borders here? I see borders here. We're literally one step away from a new player. Okay, let's see what our next province gonna be. So it's still gonna be at least 2 turns before our city tier upgrade is boosted. But we have some options. We can do the Arcane Institute. For this, we just need a quarry. For this one, we need 2 quarries, which we don't have, so we can't boost it. A single quarry for the Clergy Commons. 2 foresters, which we can achieve. 2 farms, which we can achieve. And 2 farms, which we can also achieve. So there's a bunch of things that we can actually get boosted. It just depends on what we prefer. Now, you did say we're going to need a lot of gold for bribing.
We do, yes.
So that sounds to me like we're going to grab another farm so we can build the market. Sweet. And then end turn, and let's figure out which brother is bordering us. It's
All right.
Jonas. No, that's not Jonas. I'm looking at my own name.
Yes.
It's Jarlan Vos. And what's going on here?
Yes. So we see he is a imperial warlord on the right. That does mean he might be having a tendency for wars.
Okay, that's not a great start.
Yeah. But we also saw that their relation with us wasn't too bad actually at this point.
Let's see. Oh, it's only -25.
Yes.
So technically here we can send a welcoming gift.
Yeah.
And that's gonna push us at least into the positive relations. Now, there's a lot of things that we can do here, but this is specifically the first meet screen, right?
Yes.
So when we greet them, we have a couple of options. So we can send them the welcoming gift. That's increasing our relations. We can give a threatening welcome, which actually decreases the relation. Or we can skip all of that and immediately start negotiating.
Yes.
And we can also see where we met the player. Now, in this case, we were in control, so we know where this was.
Yeah, we've seen their empire.
So here we see a nice overview of the world map. Well, slightly overview of the world map. But we can see here our scout saw their borders, so that's fine. Now, like I said, we're gonna have to play nice. We're gonna give them some gold, and we're gonna see if they respond well to that. And they definitely are open to it. So now our relation has moved into indifferent. And let's see what actually influences us, all of our relations. So we share an affinity with them. We're both focusing on at least a degree of order, which is actually giving us a rather nice bonus. But we've also just met, so they're a bit suspicious. They're uneasy, and overall they do have a opposed alignment to ours.
Yeah.
Now, most of these things we can not do much about, right? These are things because of our choices in the front end. This is how we're being viewed, and this is how our interactions are going to go.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, alignment can change throughout the game because we have events and we have a bunch of other things that allow us to increase or decrease, well, make us good or make us evil, basically. So over time, we might actually get closer to their alignment, or they might get closer to ours, which would remove that relation modifier. As we see, just met kind of goes away after a little while anyways.
Yeah.
So the only thing that we could really do anything about is the threat level.
Correct. And then in the long term, we also have their personality that we can actually work into.
Right. So let's start off with the simple or the direct thing that we can inspect, which is the threat level, which is uneasy. Now, they are feeling uneasy, but they're feeling uneasy because they are currently fighting too many wars. And interestingly enough, we can see another ruler already.
Yes. So we've probably seen one of their armies wandering about as well.
At least close by, because I do indeed notice the second shield up here. Okay, but this is actually great, because now we can inspect who they are at war with and currently what their relation is. So if I move here, we can see that their relation between Yalan and Kogan is at least at -325. So we don't quite know why, but we do know that these two don't like each other.
Yeah.
Now, we knew that going in, because we're going to try and make peace. But if we would meet a random player, this could actually inform how we want to approach them.
Yes, exactly. Diplomacy has a lot of important choices, especially later on once you decide to get a defensive pact or an alliance. Because when you do, you might be getting drawn into their wars actually as well.
All right, so we know this is an Imperial Warlord. I'm going to ignore that for a second, because if I close this, we have another first meet that is going to pop up. And that actually explains what I was seeing. All right. Now, their relation with us is a lot worse. We can also see that that's probably because there's some degree of opposing affinities going to be present. And of course, again, it's their their alignment.
Yeah.
We're still going to try and play nice. We have the gold, so we're going to give them a gift. And let's see. I didn't actually check where we met. That would have been a good one to do. Now, we saw that Yalan, Skogan's brother, was an imperial warlord.
Yes.
Skogan is a strategist warlord. Strategist warlord?
Yes, a strategist warlord.
So we see there's a difference and we see there's an overlap here.
Correct. Yeah.
What are these elements of the personality?
Yes, so we have the strategist part, which is more informative of their personal likes and dislikes, their preferences.
I would say it's these preferences, right?
Yeah.
So we can see that the strategist, at least in this instance, likes empires that really do a lot of summons, that have defeated other empires, but they dislike empires that trade their grievances or that have a stronger research. That's the first bit then.
Yeah. And then we have the warlord bit, which they both share, and that basically informs how they act on the strategic map or within diplomacy, for example.
Right.
So that influence a lot of their things, like how they will build their cities, how they do their research. They also get story events just like we do, and that also informs their choices in those things.
Okay, so here we see their strategy. We see 4 elements here. Driven by war. Like we said, they're very war happy. Which means that they're actually much more likely to act on minor grievances. But it also means that they will never submit, right? Oh no, that's this one, never surrender. So normally when you're beating the AI into a pulp,
As you do.
as a proper player does, you have the option to try and broker a vassalage, right?
True, yeah. Yeah, and it is also possible for the AI to just surrender on their own account and basically try to at least survive the match. But yeah, in
These
this
kind
case,
of players, these warlords, they will never do that.
no, they'll fight to the bitter end.
Okay, then we also have extermination. So what does that actually mean? We can see the tooltip here, but favors capturing resources and larger armies rather than building things themselves. What does that actually mean?
Yes, so the first 2 things that we looked at are more diplomatic, and these are more strategic, and that basically affects the armies they have running around. So certain AIs will, for example, favor, if they have a choice to make, like, should I go for that Ancient Wonder or should I maybe go for that pickup and clear out some Marauders? In this case, they'll favor going for the Marauders. They'll favor having a bigger army rather than building a good economy.
Right, and expansion is mostly making better cities instead of making more cities. It's the classic tall versus wide a bit.
Yes, though in this case, they'll actually rather expand their empire with more cities.
Right.
So this one will go wide instead of tall, basically. And should they ever capture a city, for example, a free city, they could vassalize it, but they could also absorb it into their empire. And in this case, they would rather absorb it.
Okay, so it's so free cities most likely to absorb and then just build better cities themselves.
Yes.
Okay, so if we go back to Yalan for just a second, the same strategies, so the same strategic and diplomatic gameplay, but what they like and dislike is slightly different.
Yes.
So where Skogan disliked empires that had a lot more research, here Yalan actually dislikes empires that have a larger domain than him and empires that have no or few alliances. So these are kind of the actions that we can interact with and determine if we want a ruler to like us more or like us less.
Yeah, exactly. And something that's a funny difference between these 2 players is that this one actually likes if you trade your grievances, while the other one hates it.
So doing one thing for one player is actually a negative for another player.
Yeah.
Problematic. Now, okay, Yalan, he likes us relatively plenty. Skogan is going to be a problem. So what can we do at this point and try to improve our relations?
Yeah, we have basically 2 options at this point already. We could basically just start bribing them with gold, which is always something that works. Who doesn't like a good amount of gold?
I mean, they're asking for almost half and we would only increase it with 50.
Yeah, they're
That's a hard bargain.
yes.
So I'm definitely not liking that prospect.
Yeah. But there's another alternative for this, and that's a little bit more on the longer term, but it is less expensive.
All right.
And that's a pronouncement.
Right, pronouncements. We had these in Planetfall as well.
Yes.
So what are our options here? We can make a declaration of friendship, rivalry, or we can fabricate grievances. Now, considering we're trying to be friends, I assume you want us to go with the declaration of friendship.
Yes. It is less expensive, though it does add some gold cost every turn. So you have to keep that in mind with your economy.
So let's see. If we want to make a declaration, what does this do?
Yes, it's a lot of text. Basically, it gives you 300 relations points over time.
Right.
And you start out with 15 points, and that will increase every turn until you reach 300 points.
So if I quickly go back, here it says minus 225.
Yes.
If I start this, that number will eventually hit 300. Given there's no other.
It will be a modifier that's along these other listed modifiers, basically.
Right. So it would be until it probably ends up some in active modifiers, and
Yes.
then if it says plus 300, that's when it caps out.
Yes, but there's a
Right.
way of increasing it even further. That is, if they like you enough to also make a friendship declaration on you, then it's possible for you both to go up to 400, depending on you having some other treaties with them as well.
Right. So a declaration of friendship is basically an intention. Like we
Yes.
intend to be friends with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, 10 upkeep a turn. I can afford that at the moment. We're gonna go with it, and we're gonna see what happens. Hopefully, it leads to fruitful interactions. So, and this explains why. Skogan is already very much at war with his brother.
Yeah, he's very much acting on the warlord part.
Let's see. Yeah, as we can see, the province is already being pillaged. As is probably this one. So, that's slightly problematic if we want to be friends with both. Also, slightly problematic is that we're kind of closed in. Because if I zoom out to the world map, here is Yalan, or Harrington, which is currently being raised and taken over by Skogan. And we are over here. So I'm assuming there's going to be more players over here. And I think we're just going to have to go down here. And also, there is more path here. What did I miss? Oh no, it ends in water. I was not blind. It ends in water. All right. We're just going to end the turn. And then we're going to have to figure out what we're going to end up doing. And things did not sound like they were going well.
No, I see some provinces in ruins there.
Oh, I know what that sound effect was. There is a siege active. So, let's see. Is that no, that's the hero. That has to be the hero, right? Loate Malmach.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like any of the Voss family members.
Alright, so they already have a hero with which they're starting a siege. It's turn 11. That's not gonna be great. I don't want to trespass, but I'm also thinking they're too busy to notice me. So why not?
We did just give them a declaration of friendship, although that was, of course, the other
one.
Voss brother. Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. It doesn't look like this Voss brother is gonna survive.
Well, at least this city he might very well lose soon.
Anyways, this is actually an interesting thing because trespassing gives the opponent a grievance, but it also is an evil act. Evil acts will influence our alignment, right?
Yes, it does.
Now, I do have to say, SQA, it doesn't say how much of an evil act this is.
Yes, I feel there's a case coming my way.
If I remember. No, so, but basically, at least trespassing is gonna give Yalan a minor grievance. The question is, does it do that once, or does it do it for every turn I'm in his domain?
Every turn. So we better make sure that we get out soon.
Yeah, so if we want to do this and get through it, that's not gonna be worth it. So we continue to play nice. We'll grab at least basic seafaring so we can get into the water and go around. And let's see tributaries. Yeah, we don't have any vessels yet, so that's fine. And none of these are all too interesting. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this one to do that in Agent Wonder for a second. And we're gonna move you over the mountains. Is that worth it? That might be worth it. That takes a lot of turns. 3 turns. I can get here in 3 turns. I'm going there. In this case, screw the mountains.
Yes, though we do have to take into account that they have a claim on that sector as well, on that province.
Oh. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, we can do something about that.
Let's see. I can annex a new province. I think we're gonna go with the mine just so we can get some more gold. Because we're gonna need it. And we already went through this. So let's see how this siege continues.
Oh. They actually, I think they got scared.
They lifted. That's interesting. Alright, we have a quest on our hands. So we have some corrupt souls to deal with, which seem to be relatively nearby. I think this is our border. And let's see, we gain race relations and some mystery bonuses. And otherwise we're gonna have to give up some knowledge.
Yeah, and stability in our cities as well.
No, we give up the stability, but we gain the knowledge.
And we gain 77 years of bad luck as well, so.
I had not read the quest text. 70 years of bad luck. That's like breaking 11 mirrors, isn't it? Sure, we'll just take the corrupted soul quest. You move.
We have 30 turns to get there, so that's fine.
Wow. Not just to get there, to beat them.
To beat them as well, yes.
Okay, so Slither's Den. And now we get indeed claims. So I think this is a direct claim, is it? Because it's pretty much adjacent to their provinces.
Yes, and otherwise it will also say so next to their name.
So what does it actually mean if a province is claimed?
Yes, so anytime you have a province anywhere on the map, you basically have claims surrounding that province. And that means that you have the intention to eventually grow your empire into that space. But as you will find out, often players will have the same intentions for the same space. And in this case, they are directly adjacent to it as well. So they have a pretty strong claim on that province.
Yeah, because let's see. Here we actually have the distant claim, but here we don't. So what is how far is a distant claim?
It's up to 3 provinces away.
Up to 3 provinces. So
yeah,
let's count. Because that doesn't seem quite.
The mountains also count.
Really?
Yes.
And I'm clicking this. Yeah, okay. Fine, that counts. All right, so direct claims, distant claims, and as we saw in the tooltip here, or tooltip, it's not much of a tooltip, it's a scroll. There's a difference in the amount of grievances that a player gets when you capture it. So this does not trigger yet when we enter, only if we actually finish the event, right?
Correct, yes.
Now, you said we have a way of dealing with this.
Yes, we do. As you gain grievances, or as the AI also gains grievances on us when we're capturing their provinces, basically, from under them, there's a way of mitigating that, and you can basically just buy or sell your grievances.
Right. I did not pick up on that one, because I thought you wanted to discuss an open borders ban.
True, yes, but it's a little bit further away,
know,
but I think we might be able to get that.
actually, it's not the open borders. It's the province claiming pact.
Yeah.
Because this one allows me to actually clear the Ancient Wonder without triggering any grievances.
True. Yes.
Now, I do see it's unavailable, and it says we do require a Wizard's Bond. Now, the Wizard Bonds is basically the start of PvP interactions, right?
Yes. It is also the start for the AI to start talking to us as well. Without it, basically, they will mostly leave us be unless we're doing bad stuff or anything they disagree with in general. Then they will, of course, tell us. But adding a wizard's bond to your relation basically means we're open to talk. We're open to improving our relations with you.
Yeah, so when we did this kind of system in Planetfall, especially once we introduced the personalities, right? In Planetfall, you had xenophobes, so if you actually were friendly with some of those NPC factions, you would get messages from, depending on how many people had that trait, saying, "Oh, I like you. Oh, I dislike you," just because you did this one thing.
Yeah.
The wizard bond kind of is a what is the word I'm looking for?
It's a kind of a filter for messages.
That's it. So basically, until you really started this wizard bond, you're not really gonna see the effects of your interactions.
Well,
in
unless
this
they're
regard.
bad, basically. So
Yeah, and you do still get the ones that are like, "Oh, I don't like what you're doing. I'm gonna declare war on you."
yes, that's very important.
Now, Jarlan is in trouble. He's interested in gold. So even for this simple act, he does require gold.
Yeah. As he starts liking us better and better, they'll probably not ask for gold anymore. But at this point, they're still a little bit suspicious of us.
Right, so we're gonna take this, and everything has a trade value, I see.
Yeah.
And I assume that's kind of linked to this little arrow here. So a wizard bond seems to have a value of 150 in this case.
Yeah, the wizard's bond basically is worth 100 gold. And it's worth 100 gold for both of us, basically, because it's always shared. But they're asking 50 gold of us, so that makes our side of the deal more valuable than theirs, basically.
Right. So, they're probably just asking because they don't trust us quite yet. All right, we'll go with
Still
it.
at indifference.
And in Planetfall, we could pick a bunch of these things, throw them together, send them that way, and hope that they accept. But we're not seeing that here, right? Oh,
Yes.
actually, quickly gonna sidestep because making a wizard bond actually also revealed where Yalan has his capital city. So now we know at least roughly where the stronghold is located.
Yes.
Anyways, sidetrack. What was I saying?
Yes, so we were discussing the differences in trading with Planetfall.
Right.
And one of the big differences here is that in Planetfall you could assemble your own trade and then see if the AI would accept or reject it. And that was cool to have a more free-form feel to trading, but it also meant that you're basically sending trades into a black box.
Oh, I remember sending 200 Cosmite and then lowering it to 150 and then throwing in some more to see what they would and wouldn't accept.
Yes, and there was also a random factor to it. So it also meant that sometimes you could just get away with offering less as well. So we redid the entire system, and that basically now means that the AI will only show you the options that they will actually approve of, or they will show you the options that they might approve of if you reach certain conditions.
Right.
And if you select any of these options, they will then immediately tell you, oh, this is okay, but I want 50 gold, I want some mana, or that interesting city that you have.
Basically, what we just saw, the Wizard Bond, they're open to it, but they want a bit more gold in order
Yes.
to do it. Now, I did already notice our Province Claiming Pact isn't quite there yet because our relation isn't quite up to snuff. But that is, in this case, very easily done with a
Very expensively done.
gift. But we could offer them 51 gold per turn. That's even more. And this is very weird. So how much do they want for a one-time gift? And then there's no relation bonus, but there's mana, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. So I guess I'll take the hit on that very expensive gift. But they better not ask for more gold when we want the promise of
Ooh, I
Christmas
can't
back.
make any promises there.
They're really trying to rip us off. How much do I want this this ancient
How
wonder?
much do you want that province?
Not enough. I think this was a mistake. um. Okay, let's see. This is. Yeah, but then again, we do get into the Valley of Legions with this.
Yes, and it also means that we can now build a settlement very close to that ancient wonder, and maybe have a chance of getting that magic material as well.
You do have a point. Fine. We'll try more playing nice. Yeah, now we nicely see above what each of our treaties is. But we would also see that when hovering over this, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they don't have any active treaties, which makes sense. And there's still one brother that we need to find.
Yes, and there's also another difference in the treaties is that they are now always shared. In Planful, you could basically say, I open my borders, but you don't have to do the same.
Yeah, so now it doesn't matter if I ask you, if you ask me, we're always gonna be a happy family.
Yes.
Let's see. Strategic heal. That doesn't apply yet. Or the stage of mending. Bullet returns. I'll take the army heal because strategic healing is gonna be a lot more useful nowadays. And we're gonna see what we have to offer. The Pit of Vipers. With a Gorgon Goddess. Alright. So, as usual, we've seen these before. Ancient Wonders have events. In this case, we do have an evil character action, which gives us -10 alignment, which does not suit what we're doing.
No.
And we're gonna go up against the risky battle. Oh no, not this thing. This thing is a righteous pain. Like, great model, love the look. Thunderclap is not. It's not just damage. It's a displace. Defense mode is removed. Like, it leaves you so open. Also, this is an animal, so it has low maintenance. Definitely not gonna do this now. I'll just go and clear this for some more gold after what happened.
Yes, we'll need it.
Alright. This is easy. I would have been so mad if that hadn't been an easy thing. Alright. Ring of the Vicious Killer. And you go into the water, please. Sweet. And then we're just gonna try and loop around. And I'm still kind of curious why Skogan decided to ditch the siege. But I do not have any intention of currently finding out. I'm also thinking building an outpost in any of these provinces is not smart because the only thing you can really build in them are huts. Now, if we had Aldic adaptation, that would have been a lot less painful.
Yeah, so now we're actually just looking for either terraforming or a better place.
Yeah, our scout hopefully can find some better suited terrain. City ruins.
Okay, they're really going at it.
I don't know what I wanted to look for. Tier 3 unit. We might be very much underprepared for this. Okay, so this was indeed the hero that was, or the hero that was doing the siege. Oh boy, let's see. More combat casting, simple armor. Anyways, this is interesting because they must have just taken a city and completely pillaged it or razed it.
Yeah, there's a good chance was belonged to the other ruler, Yarlan.
Yalan. It has to be. It's his kind of domain. Let's see.
Yeah, we might have made the right choice in going for the other brother.
Well, yeah, that's the long-term plan.
At least, yeah, if it works out.
Let's see. We're gonna deal with that quest in a minute. Now, I'm kind of hoping that if they move off, I'm kind of just hoping that we can rebuild it. I do think I need a hero for that, though. And they're not moving off. Kogan, go away. Well, let's just explore the coast some more.
Oh, okay, so they're right on each other's
Oh.
borders.
Yep. What's... Would that have been... Skogan wouldn't do this to his own city. I'm really curious what happened there. And we'll go for the chaplain.
Yeah, and if we're not happy, we can always shuffle the research options.
True, but at one remaining, there's not gonna be much
Yeah.
help there.
We
It's
still
just-
haven't found any free cities either.
Nope. Okay, let's see. We have a diplomatic message. And basically, our relation is currently improving because we have a treaty with them that in the past few turns we haven't actually broken.
Yes, and it's also related to their personality.
Yes, because it's this one. They like empires that don't break treaties. Now, let's see. And it shows up here nicely, pushing our relation much higher. Though I thought we were already higher.
Yes, so at the same time, they also have a dislike for empires with few alliances, which is us as well.
Right. We don't have an alliance yet. So the one and the other are offsetting each other.
Yes, so basically we're neutral again.
No, we could do... Oh, I could have done open borders and just walked right through. That would have been a much better money spend.
We can still do it if we want.
But yeah, so we're gonna... We can go defensive pact and then hopefully eventually to an alliance. How is Kogan looking at this at the
It's
moment?
actually looking a lot better.
So our declaration of friendship is already giving us a plus 90. They still have the rainbow clover, which is giving them a plus 100. Our dislike is actually going lower. So what is this inherent dislike actually based on? Is that based on something, or is it just...
It's essentially just the leader starting out with a grudge on you
Right.
for personal reasons.
I want to say, because I don't think Yalan had this.
No,
So
not all of them have it.
It's random whether somebody just goes like, yeah, I just don't like you.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
we managed to mitigate that actually by the power of gold.
Right. I mean, for a ruler like Skogan, gold means a lot.
Yes.
Let's see. You're still there. Oh. See, now Skogan is doing what I wanted to do. Skogan is making this into a city of his own. Oh boy. Oh, a lot of red. Oh, something happened. Because the city wasn't rebuilt. I have a beak.
Ooh, yes, he's going
Harrington
back.
came back. No, I don't think that's gonna work. So what is Harrington? What is Yalan actually working with? Pretty similar to us. Tome of Zeal, because they have the Zealot. Proper heroes, 2 scouts. They must have lost some units, but damn, it's turn 16 and they're walking up with almost 2.5 6 attacks. In the meantime, we're gonna just take out some corrupted souls. I wanted to say blessed skulls. And let's see, we have some options. We can spend more money, but I think we've done that enough. So we're just gonna... I mean, it's 2 tier 3s,
Oof,
which...
we barely kept whole units, but that's fine.
Yeah, considering this is 1, I'm really assuming our steadfast came through. That spell really helps sometimes. Now, we have options that increase our unit production or draft, structure production, or our Imperium. Considering what I've seen, I think we might want to focus on making some more units.
Yeah,
Because
just in case.
yeah, because also this deck has been here for a long time, and I don't know what it's been doing. We're just gonna recruit a new hero. Let's see, auto adapt, or duelist and a militarist, which seems more beneficial. Yep. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take the hit on the hero cap.
Ooh, it's quite a lot.
It's 30 gold. It's like it's like 3 times the declaration. The biggest thing is we're just having a stack standing around. That is not a smart idea. We're gonna have to go out and find a new place to settle, because I think we might have kind of screwed ourselves over. Let's see. Undying loyalty. That's a good one. And I think we're gonna go with experienced leader because our pikemen, which are currently at elite, only need a little bit more XP to actually get to champion, at which point they will evolve into the defender unit, which is the tier
Wow.
2 shield unit of the feudal culture. And, our units, like always, they rank up over time as they gain more experience. And when they do at certain levels, they generally always get increased HP, so they survive longer. And then at Elite and Legend, they get additional passives. So our archers, they do increased damage, and they gain Eagle Eye. And Eagle Eye, if I remember correctly, is a trait or a bonus that increases accuracy and range. So we can check that when
When we get there.
when we get there. So the army heal is ready. I don't think we currently need that because our regeneration is actually pretty high because we're in our own friendly domain. And as long as we stay, there, it's gonna be fine. And so we just got a notification that Skogan has retreated to the void, which means that he indeed got.
Yes, they got wiped, but they'll be back because they're the actual ruler.
Yes, which means that in about 3 turns they'll show up again over here in their capital. Which more quests.
Ooh.
We want the head of a warg, and that's also nearby. So anything that gives us more XP. And oh no.
Oh,
Oh
we can actually let them go and gain some positive alignment points.
yes, which is definitely a good thing. Also, this is a level up, so even if I don't fight for the XP, I'm still gaining a level up.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
It's a win-win for us. So let's go level 4. I do have 2 now of these. So let's see. We have some adept hero skills available now. Commanding touch, inspiring leader, feudal ruler, strength training. I do think I want to go with inspiring leader just to get some of that gold back we've been spending. Now we had, like you said, we did a good alignment act, which, as we see here, actually shows up. And this isn't what I was thinking of showing. Now I kind of wonder if we did this, if I had done this 5 turns ago, we would have seen what I wanted to see. Because as you play the game and you, for a long time, don't actually make any good or bad choices, your alignment wanes, correct?
Yeah, at least if you're on the evil side. So it's sometimes hard to gain more evil points or good points, but especially getting good points is hard because you need to do good acts, and that often means also sacrificing a lot of maybe other
Benefits.
good choices. When you're going evil and you don't have anything good that you can do, at least over time you're weighing back towards a more neutral good status.
Right, so that means that if I'm pure good, does it bring back down to good?
No. So
Okay.
keep doing good stuff, but you won't have to worry about not doing good stuff in a while.
Well, see, I didn't know that. I thought in both cases you would wane back down to neutral. Okay, we picked up some production pickups, production in general, and we can instantly complete some of our structures. Now we have some options. We can get more mana. We can increase our production in general. We can increase our knowledge income. We could do the tavern for another 20 city stability. That would put us at definitely into orderly, which then in general increases production, draft, and food income.
That would be good.
And it finishes instantly, so why not?
And we also researched the convent, didn't we?
Yes, we researched the convent, which it's a tome structure, so it doesn't actually get boosted. So let's queue up this, and in 4 turns, for each city stability level above unstable, which in this case would be 1, 2, 3. 3 levels above, so plus 15 knowledge, plus 15 mana.
That's nice.
And I do not have enough gold to make more units. But I still have a province to annex. I think I'm gonna take this. Oh wait, I was thinking of doing the 2 quarries needed for the blacksmith actually. Just so we can get units done faster. Is that worth it? Not really. Yeah, that stupid notification is back. Okay, so let's see. Another province being pillaged. This city is not being rebuilt.
So we could swoop in with our hero.
And that's what I'm gonna double check now.
Still there.
Do we think the AI is gonna notice I'm swooping in to steal their city?
It'll be fine.
Okay, let's see. Just scoping out the coast. And we have our next tome available. We're playing good. What do we want? So we've all seen these before.
Yeah.
Could do Zeal. Does Zeal have any Circle of Zealotry? It does increase city stability, which would be nice actually. Inspiring Chant is plus 10 morale at least. And enchanted units gain Zeal for extra spirit damage. And otherwise we can increase our city for less. Oh, that actually reminds me, we didn't see the Whispering.
No,
Spell
we
yet.
managed to dodge it the whole time.
Are we gonna go Tome of Zeal?
Yeah, that sounds fine. And sometimes if you want the relation bonus, you can also base it on the affinities of the other
Is
players.
a gift unto your
Right.
subjects.
But in this case, you already knew
When
that one of them
conflict
had
through their
order.
veins, they become
Yeah.
mightier, more
I
valiant.
completely and
They
totally
wash off their wounds and
thought
in
of that.
pain, shielded by the holy knowledge that they are in the right. Those who reject your gift shall know condemnation, and it shall wither their very souls.
Thank you, Sola. I'm gonna go with the Legion of Zeal, mostly just for the extra damage. And the ruler has returned to their city. Let's see. So we definitely have enough No. No.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Oh! Just temporarily regrouping.
Well, time to talk with AJ. Anyways, we are gonna spend the next 4 turns rebuilding the city. And then we at least have a second city up. Those are the wargs. That's increased morale for themselves. Don't care about that really. I just want more units.
Hmm.
Which I wasn't building. Well, there we go. 2 defenders, and our pikemen have evolved into the defenders. Nice,
Yeah.
strong, heavy shields, so they ignore flanking attacks. Shield defense, which is typical, and indeed still stand together. Also, lots of defense.
Yes, we're gonna need it.
Let's see. Can I not? I can't quite retreat.
And they're standing on a food pickup as well. They're the marauders.
Yep. So we're gonna heal up, and then we're just gonna go and clear this, cause that's just gonna be 2 brewer ogres. You're just gonna stay here, but that's global. This I want to keep for when the city's done. I'm trying to think
Ooh.
what kind of trying to think what kind of resource income this gives when we clear it. Because I think that's just gonna be food. It's worth a shot. Let's never mind.
Ooh, that's a strong stack.
It's always the entwined.
Yeah, they're hidden as well in the forest.
Yeah, I should have known that a magic material was not gonna be protected by 2 gremlins. Keep you. And Skogan has a lot of terrain.
And we still have the third brother to meet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go here. No, you're not gonna be hidden here. You're gonna be like all the way in here, probably. You're not governor of any city yet, so I'm not gonna make a call on what I want you to do. I'm just gonna give you more defense so we can get to the adept skills. Now, we have a province claiming pact with Yarlan, which I think is actually gonna help us out, because he has a claim on this province. Actually, we all do. So this means that if we all have a claim, does this mean that they still get a relation hit if we claim it, or?
They do, unless we get a pact with them to ignore it.
So even though I also have a claim,
Yeah.
it is worth to acknowledge and try and get a... I have not enough gold.
Too expensive treaty.
Everybody wants gold.
Yes, they have a good amount of army units running around, so they need a lot of gold to keep them
them
there.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see they have some interesting weapons. The lightning sword, the barbed shield.
They're not going to be cheap.
Well, we can check. I mean, it's about the same amount of money that they ask for just a random resource request, so not too bad. But that's definitely not happening for a while. Take out the Arctic ogres. More food. And I'm gonna just send you out into the sea as well. What are you guarding? Ooh, large, big. What did it say? I'm really hoping for the hero equipment in this case. And there we have the final brother, who appears to be dead. Yes.
Yes, they're in the void.
So the war is definitely raging on. So, quick question. If this ruler is in the void, I correctly see that one of these buttons is disabled. The other one isn't.
Well, it is disabled because you cannot pay the 50 gold. I'm sorry.
Everything comes down to gold in this country. But here, when we meet them, we actually see pretty good relations. I keep expecting this to show tooltip. Threat level indifferent. It's the same modifier, but at least they seem to care less about us for some reason.
Yes, and it's also partially because they're actually a diplomat.
Right. And that's a different archetype, so to say, of the
Yeah.
personalities we've seen. Because a diplomat logically really likes diplomacy. So their strategy, their diplomatic strategy, is informed in this case by trying to get alliances, as we can see
Yeah.
here. They won't break their treaties, and they actually have strategic gameplay focused on exploration.
Yes, so they will want to meet other players and gain treaties and eventually better diplomatic states with those players. In this case, unfortunately, they're involved with a
Rather feisty war.
yeah, some conflict with their brothers. So, unfortunately, that's not really happening, but they might still be our ally.
Yeah, and so indeed diplomat. Now we have the authoritarian bit, which kind of ties into the xenophobe thing that I brought up earlier, because they do like empires that only have a single race.
Yes.
Also strong militaries, and they dislike good relations with free cities or many alliances. So currently we're kind of in a good position. Our relationship is gonna be good because at least we have the order match. We also have a bit of a nature match. And despite everything, they are currently ranking highest of all the players overall.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of nice that we can, when you meet someone, you can kind of just immediately track how well they're doing in the game and if you should be threatened or if you should want to ally or any of these. Oh, actually, I should have. Because now. So, these active treaties are the ones with us, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh, so this is interesting. Yarlan and Darman haven't met each other yet.
No. Well, they have their sibling sitting in between.
It does quite look like that, because we see red, we see purple, we see blue. And we see at least Skogan is heavily pillaging. Jesus Christ. Okay, so we're definitely going to play nice with him, because I'm pretty sure he's the only one going to be left standing.
Yes. And we're well on our way, luckily.
This is still 3 turns. Lots of talking, little action. But hey, it's diplomacy. That's usually the case, right?
Yes, exactly how we want it to be.
Okay, I spent most of my gold there. I can annex another province for more boosts. What do I want to boost? What do I want to boost? What would I like to boost? I'd like to boost the granary at one point, so we'll grab another forester.
Yes, and it will also boost the mint, which gives us more gold.
Does it? I thought that
think it
required
does.
farms. Two
Maybe
farms?
I'm lying. I hope I'm not.
Let's see. I'll just grab Magecraft for a second. We have our
Oh.
hero skills. Now here we can kind of differentiate our affinities if we'd like, but Dark Ritual does not seem like us. You know, turning everything into zombies. It does, like Skogan would like it. You know, maybe we
True,
could give him
yeah.
some zombies. But I do think getting Restoration is a good one, mostly because it's not coming up with the word. It's a resurrection as well.
Oh.
See? Target friendly unit that is dead can be revived with 60% of its total HP. So, you know, it gives us some wiggle room if a unit isn't that fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Ooh, we even got a achievement.
yes, this is a different Paradox streaming account that we're playing on.
Ooh.
Don't need this. New skills. We've skipped over a bunch. So career soldier is actually kind of interesting because, like we said, our pole arm units evolve when they gain XP. So anything that increases that gain is beneficial because it means that we could start with a slightly cheaper unit
Yeah.
instead of building the defenders, which take at least 100 gold to start off with. We still don't have any vessels, actually.
We haven't even met a free city. I
Ah,
think the brothers just have taken up all the land.
yeah, I'm kind of wondering about that. Because I don't think this realm has a trait that influences, at least. Um, so this is interesting, because this is one of these messages that you get that indicate what a other player's intention is.
Yes.
So we did this in our Diplodocus update, I think, for Plantfall. Because originally we kind of only had these flavorful text, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Which really great, but they made it kind of hard to understand the diplomatic system. So at one point we added what we called like the diplomatic hint system,
Yes.
which is basically explaining in gameplay terms what the AI is actually telling you.
Yes. And in this case, it means that they're ready for a new treaty, or maybe even multiple of them.
Yeah, because I expect at this point them to be roughly ready for a defensive pact. Do we have a wizard bond? We don't even have a wizard's bond. They're ready for the wizard's bond.
I think so.
um,
But can we pay for it?
oh, I want to say, if they tell us that they're ready, then they shouldn't be asking us for money.
I mean, they're ready to accept our gold.
Yeah. They want our gold. Everybody always wants our gold.
Well, next turn we'll be able to pay.
Oh god, Parsec.
Got another.
Ah,
Oh.
right. This is interesting, and this is actually from the other Tom, and not Tom Bird, this is from Thomas. So, we're playing on a realm that has a presence trait. Presence trait means that there's a ruler or multiple rulers present on the realm that have specific conditions. When you've met, or when you meet them, or in this case, met all of the rulers from that presence trait, it basically enables a quest. In this case, it's a quest to defeat or form an alliance with each of the brothers. When doing so, it triggers a victory condition.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, we've edited the map to only be us plus the 3 brothers. But if you have other players, that means that allying specifically these 3 ends the game without having the need of military victory over the other players or an allied victory with everybody else. That was a lot in one sentence. So yeah, this is what they call a unique pension quest. So we have this one. You have, for example, the one for Arctica on the Frozen Realm, or one on Obadot, which is an infernal realm filled with demons. And there's a lot more that we've added since I think we first showed those traits off in the influencer streams. But now we have a nice little thing to track our progress, I guess.
Yes.
Now, for us, it doesn't really matter because, like I said, technically this would basically be, I guess, a military victory through allied victory. But they're interesting.
Yes. So even in a normal game, outside of these special traits that you can put on your random map, it means that even if you ally all the players there, you also win.
Yes, and that's not all players, that's all remaining players.
All remaining, yes.
So if you form an alliance with 2 or 3 rulers and, you squish the opposition, then you all win.
Yes, exactly.
Now we're going into Dire Penguins, and it's not going to be too interesting, but I know people have been asking for some naval combat. So it's Dire Penguins, they're classic. I do think we're going to show it off for just a minute.
Yes. If only for the dire penguins. It's already worth it.
These are confused Dire Penguins. Why do you be on boats? They shouldn't be on boats. Why are they on boats? Why are they on boats? Oh boy. Okay. Well, okay, now we have penguins on boats. Might actually be even worse because now they know how to make a boat.
Yes, we're doomed.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter.
Because these boats are magical boats. All of the boats. Let's see. All of this then together. Just defense mode it. And go. I mean, despite the boats, I do have to say the water looks really good. Like, our team has done an amazing job on these. Like, come on, just like the foam and the colors and the waves. It just looks really good. Really, you're still out of range.
I think Tom Bird did a good job on making sure the AI doesn't just sacrifice the units.
Yeah,
Not all the time.
I spotted Tom Bird talking with some of the people on the Something Awful forums. And they were talking about, so the AI, tactical AI has this thing which is basically, they were talking about the evaluation of how to decide when and when not to move and stuff. Which is fun because you would have units standing next to a unit that can retaliate, and that would then they would then just walk away, taking the opportunity attack to then attack like a unit much further away and stuff. Which, admittedly, yes, is odd behavior. So Tom ended up making some changes there to just make sure that the AI is a lot less likely to make those kind of moves. Now, I completely forgot that these stupid birds are a lot stronger than they seem. Wait, how did that bird get healed? Why do the dire penguins have lifesteal? This is painful. What is this? Ooh, Arctic Walk. Makes sense, they're penguins. Rat of the Faithful is not gonna do much, but I do just want to dish out some more damage. And we're gonna just speed up combat a little bit.
Oof, there's the lifesteal again.
Should have just autoed it. I do have to say, just these boats ramming into each other looks so fun. It's so silly. Like, I know why we've made some of these choices. It looks great. And to be fair, it looks less weird than Planetfall, where everybody was standing on these little rafts while doing combat. You just, you're just in Amazon standing there with a gun on a little raft. Let's see. Is that worth it? That's not worth it. Just do damage. Yeah.
Ooh. And they
Blind
even got
it.
affected with the blind.
Yeah, which, let me see, does that affect?
Physical range.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the thing. That doesn't matter for these penguins.
But they won't do retaliation attacks at least.
Would they? I know. I really need to learn to read these things when I'm doing these streams. It really feels like just you're a kid and like, yeah, you're smashing boats together. That was so dumb to do on stream. Oh boy. Okay, well, let's murder these murder penguins.
Yes.
No more penguins. Now this better be a good reward.
I hope so.
gold, knowledge, and production. Well, not what I was hoping for, but it suffices. Let's see. Okay, I have. Oh, actually, you know what I can do? I need my hero for a minute. Damn it! I do. That's everything I have equipped now. That's not worth selling.
Hmm.
Damn you! Okay, just go on to land and scout. 2 more turns. Not worth it. Worth it. Certainly not worth it. So let's just send you out to explore.
And there's the Faithful Whispers finally.
Yeah, having a look at this map, I don't expect any free cities to pop up.
Yeah, they're probably all the way in the corner, or maybe in the undergrounds. But
That could be.
we also got a diplomatic notification.
Right.
Ooh.
A trade proposal. Yeah, watch this. It's gonna be one of the ones that is dying.
Yeah, please help us.
Let's see. What am I thinking? You see, 3 farms.
Ah, you were right. Yeah.
Blacksmith. 2. How about nothing? How about we just make another unit? So, Inspiring Chant, Faithful Whispers, or we do a shuffle.
Yeah, this Faithful Whispers definitely isn't worth it right now.
Sell it. I'm not a fan of summons. I do think we'll take Condemnation just to play off of Seal. Let's see. Now, what can we still
We
build?
might want to hang on to a little bit of gold and see what the,
The
trade
trade
offer
proposal
is.
is.
Yeah. Oh,
No gold required.
yes.
Just patience. Alright. That does mean we won't be able to make another pact until...
It takes 200 relation points. So,
Yeah, that was not the part I was worried about.
we did want to have the province claims.
Alright, in case that... for when we finish that city.
Yeah.
True. Actually, I'm gonna make a big... AI is not gonna like this, but I do kind of want to show off grievances a bit. So I actually am gonna break this province claim. Never done this before. Is there always a grievance for when you break a treaty?
Yes.
Huh. Well, this is a one-way transaction.
Yes.
All right, let's break it. All right, now we can see war, justification, and grievances
Yes, they have a minor grievance on us, 6 points.
for breaking a treaty.
Yeah. Which we paid dearly for, but that's all right. But yeah, that gives us another option in this screen, settle grievances.
New options,
Yes.
which currently doesn't do a lot.
Yes. It's quite expensive as well.
But basically, this is where when we or the AI or other players have grievances, can actually negotiate letting those things go. Right?
Yes. Yes, there is a limit to how much they will want to get rid of. And then there are also certain personalities which block it entirely.
Right.
So
'cause,
keep that in mind.
let's see. More regeneration is always nice. Now this right does cost population, but summons basically a little army, but we only have 1 city. And I don't think our upkeep can survive if we do that.
No.
Now, Daman has finally returned from his stay in the clouds. Let's see. So, what does this requirement actually mean?
Yes. Normally there's a number, but in this case it means they will not accept this contact information if they already met half the players on the map.
Right. So we've both met. Well, I've met everybody. They have met too. So sadly, it's impossible. Now we at least are able to make a visit bond with this diplomat without spending any cash.
Yes.
I also want to see. They're open to open borders.
Yes, because they're a diplomat, they will want to have more treaties. So.
All the
Grab-
treaties.
Yes, let's just grab everything we can.
Well, because I do think actually, if I quickly go back, no, that isn't the thing. Didn't we at one point get a small relation bonus if you made a treaty with someone?
Yeah, we had that before, but it basically also meant that having one treaty might enable the other as well, or make the next one easier to get.
Right.
Which was kind of an exploit. So we ended up not doing that anymore.
Makes sense. Okay, that city is done in one turn. Let's just see how everybody's gonna respond to that.
It should be fine. We negotiated the proper terms.
I mean, Yalen isn't gonna like it.
Yes. Though technically the province was already claimed, so I'm not sure how they'll be responding, but yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so I just remembered that the Kaiji Commons also gives us a bit of gold instead of just the 10 mana that the normal default mana structure gives. So we're gonna build that, and then in one turn our hero cap upkeep is gonna be gone, and we're gonna be fine.
Yes.
I was wondering why my gold kept being so low. There we go. Nobody seems to have responded to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody seems fine. For now. Let's see, I'm gonna put you there for one turn. Yeah, you lost your city. Do I have open borders with you?
Not yet.
Not yet. I'll pay. And then I can at least move through your domain a bit. We can set Jonas as the new thing. Jonas isn't able to do anything yet. That was not necessarily a good way to spend money. Because now we can't build anything in our new city.
Can at least get us some extra gold for the next turn.
Wait, I didn't want to do anything with you anyways. Okay, the war seems to have died down a bit. Probably because, you know, we're walking around.
Well,
We do influence.
something is happening there.
Oh boy. Yeah, it does definitely look like Skogan is currently being pressured.
Yes, Jarlan is out for revenge. But maybe on the wrong person because we ended up with their city, but
Hey, I gave them 2 turns to grab that city. They did not do anything with it. So let's see, you're back up. Grab the food.
wow, that's a lot.
Was that a strong one I want? Curious. Curious indeed. Let's think, because usually I do the mana, but in cases where I can actually annex a new on turn 1, do this for a workshop boost, and I'll grab that for more gold. Can't do anything at the moment. Yeah, sure. Actually click on it properly. And Actually, you come back here. I want that rainbow clover. Thank you. Already did that. You have nothing interesting to build. I'll just set you to produce merchandise for 2 turns. Oh, we've met our first free city.
It's about time.
Loate Malmar. Interesting, because that's the same ruler as the hero that Skogan was walking around with.
Maybe they turned their city into a vassal city then.
They're definitely a vassal city. Yep, vassal city. But they didn't integrate them, which means normally you don't get a hero yet. Is this a different one, perhaps? I can't check that because it's not my own hero. So actually, we have a diplomacy overview that we completely haven't touched yet.
That as well, yeah.
So normally this is where we go to see our free cities, but this is also like we can click the shields, but you can also go here to inspect your relation with the different players.
And this also allows you to see a lot of the information without having to go into the full diplomacy screen.
Yeah, because here we can at least see our relation with them, and if we open it, we can see their affinities, I wanted to say our treaties. This doesn't show our treaties.
Yeah, it's still visible if you hover over the shield, I think.
Yeah, it's right. It's a bit odd. Learning new things every time. But yeah, it's a quick overview of everything that a diplomacy has to. Well, a quick overview of the information normally in the diplomacy screen. And it's also where we can access more information on our rankings, because here we can check out how everybody is doing militarily, in expansion, in magic, and if it gets there. Wait, that's overall. I think this is supposed to be score. What is economy ranking?
The economy is really your cities and your income. The overall ranking is what we also use for the score victory.
This is interesting. Oh well, I think in all of them we're pretty much. Oh no, we're not dead last. Somehow Skogan had a strong start, but he's tapering off.
Yeah, he might have chewed off more than he could actually.
True.
Bit off more than he could chew.
Yeah.
That's the right one.
I mean, he is wedged in between the other 2 players. Ooh. Now, people have been curious about this unit. Well, they've been curious about the skull, and it's very fun to actually see it up close like this. Because, they want a jester head, so it has a jester head.
Cool unit.
So this is interesting, and this less your thing, but these crises and these boons. Because there are quests that are aligned with our affinities.
Yeah.
In this case, this is fed by our order affinity, which generally opposes chaos. So here we have, as we are holy diplomats, the assignment to take care of these infernal fiends. If we do that, that gives us an order boon, which increases our city stability in all of our cities for a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
Similarly, if we reject it, well, okay, we can reject it and nothing happens, or we can try and get this unit, but doing so will give us another crisis, which then decreases our city stability in all of our cities.
Yeah.
Also costs us a lot of mana if we were to do this, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, kind of wish this worked. No, we're just gonna accept this, and 2 skulls, a Lightbringer.
Ooh, these are can be very painful to fight.
Yeah, Thomas called these holy fish.
Yeah.
Which is, it's very true. The biggest thing they have is this convert, which mind control effects are always risky to deal with, because suddenly you go from having 6 units to 5 units. On the other side, the Scald is actually surprisingly in the same vein, because it's Song of Revelry. Oh no, it doesn't anymore. Okay, so this used to have a effect where it would actually cause your unit to go berserk,
Ooh.
which is both positive and negative, because as it's berserk, it ignores all of the casualty mechanics, so it does full damage even if it's a single model. But of course, it's completely unchecked.
Yeah.
But it does still have on its attack Insanity, which is fun because that just means that it's the unit that if it goes insane, it just attacks any random unit within the range. Hope that you're not too close, otherwise you're still gonna get attacked yourself when you want them to attack their allies.
Right, so they can even attack your own units.
Yeah, so any unit within the range, and ideally that is indeed an enemy unit, so you use it on like the back line. I've definitely made the mistake of using this on a war breed and then not calculating how far that thing would be moving, because then you get shock damage for so much. It is interesting because the Lightbringer is actually a celestial unit, so I'm wondering what happened here that it's included. But yeah, we can. Where is this? It is a bit further away from our city. But yeah, that seems fine. I want to get the Rainbow Clover. Yeah, not doing that on my own. Go to sleep. That's not needed. And more messages. Like we said, Daman likes us because we're sticking to our single race.
Yeah.
And Yarlan doesn't like us because of what we've done. I.e., we have broken our treaty. But this is also a warning, because he's telling us that if we continue with our behavior, he's actually going to declare war on us as well.
Yes, so if we do not make any reparations for the current minus 210 relations that we have, it means they might either declare war or start breaking the treaties that we have, which is the Wizard's Bond that we still share.
Yeah, so we can see here there's a grudge due to our grievances. It looks like this is about 10 for each grievance point that you have.
Yes, exactly.
And that's basically being almost doubled because of the passive we broke a treaty, which is then also something that they don't like about our personality.
Yes, so we can look at their personality actually, and they used to have a like for players that do not break any treaties, which we just did.
So they don't like us.
Yes, our bonus relation points are now gone.
Now, we do see also that they still feel uneasy, but now our army also poses a threat to them. So that does hopefully mean that they have less military than we do.
Yes.
Should it come to a war. Now, after getting these messages, how long do you roughly have before, they actually break the bond or they start the war?
It's usually a couple of turns, so like maybe 3 or 4 turns before they will act upon something.
Right. Quickly sip some water. Because diplomacy is all about talking. Now, Yalan seems to have captured one of our claimed provinces, which gives us a rather large amount of grievances.
They actually took the mine. That's
Oh, now I can't see. But okay.
well, if you go back to your city, just a little bit south, they actually took the mine that's directly adjacent to you.
Oh, this one. I was looking at this one. I did not see this mine.
They've been stretching out their city very far actually right now.
Okay, so we have 25. They have 6. If we go and check here, this gives us a minor war justification balance. What does this actually mean if we want to declare war?
Yes. So a big difference with Planetfall here is as well that their grievances count for our war declarations as well.
Yeah, because we can see that, right? Because our war justification balance is only 19, which
Yes.
is 25 minus 6.
Yeah, and we've gotten rid of systems like the what was it called? The empire stability was a thing for Planetfall as well, where declaring wars basically meant that your economy and your units would weaken or actually strengthen based upon your.
Yeah, it was kind of popular support, kind of.
Yeah.
If you had the popular, if you had grievances, you would get bonuses for declaring the war because people would actually find your war justified and give you popular support. They would support your war efforts.
Yes, and in this case, it's not so much internal to your empire, but it's more external.
Yeah.
And that means that if you declare an unjustified war, other players will start hating you more.
So-
And yeah, that basically just means that if you do that, it might eventually spiral down to a all-out war on you.
So we can have a quick look at this because here we can declare a justified war, which seems to be relatively safe, right?
Yeah.
We have reasons to declare this war. And because we have reasons, this actually means that our war declaration is a good action.
Yes.
But war is not necessarily always good, even if justified. So there is a relationship hit that our
Yes.
non-allied rulers take.
In this case, it's only minor justification. So that means that even though we have some grievances on them, it's still questionable whether we should declare war or not. So other people still disagree. But we do have a different bonus as well going on, which is we are good aligned and they are evil aligned. So we're fighting good versus evil, and that does give us a little bit of a offset there.
Does that offset also work vice versa if I'm evil and I'm declaring war on good people?
No, you're not extra punished for doing that. If you have grievances, then you should be able to act on them.
All right, so here we have, for example, if we want to go to war with Skogan, which we've been actually pretty nice with, and we don't have any grievances against, there's a lot more going on.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So, one thing that I know somebody on YouTube actually noticed is that there's no relation here for non-allied rulers, but there are grievances awarded to non-allied rulers, and as we saw, that also means that there's a inherent relation modifier on it.
So 10 points, 10 grievance points here basically means they get minus 100 relation points as well, which is a side effect of the grievances.
Yeah, but where the other one generally only applied to the justified war, kind of only affected our player versus player, the other rulers. This unjustified war actually affects also our vassal cities.
Yes.
Because we see negative relations, which already has an impact on our allegiance. Also, their allegiance flat out just goes down.
Yes, a one-time minus 10 points hit.
Oh, that's only one time.
Yes, but it could mean that you don't lose your vassals, of course, but they could drop in their allegiance level, and that could mean they give you less points for your Ready of the Lieges. Maybe they give you less tribute as well. So in general, it's good to keep your vassals happy.
And I think something that is going to be the most impactful thing for most players here. Declaring an unjustified war actually decreases the amount of Imperium you generate.
Yes. So that means less expansion in general. Just building fewer cities.
Guilds, less expansion. Let's see. Was there anything interesting here? Nope, because we barely have any free cities that we can use.
Yeah, and we don't have any points for the Ray of the Lieges either.
Nope, because we didn't take the Ancient Wonder and we didn't at all explore the underground. Actually, to a degree we did. Oh, look at that. Damon is escaping into the underground. And our scout ended up here. Huh, alright. Let's see quickly what we want to do. So we have a bunch of gold finally. And we're getting notified that we're really well off. Is there anything specifically about diplomacy that that we haven't mentioned that you want to show off?
I think we did cover a great portion of it. Of course, we haven't seen our plans really come to fruition yet.
Oh no, honestly I think the most interesting here has so far been just the AI going to war with each other.
Yeah, they're far too distracted to bother with us at this point. I was kind of hoping for the AI to at least make a declaration of rivalry or friendship with you, but they might be spending all their gold on units.
Most likely. So actually we can quickly talk about that still, because with Skogan, he started off kind of horrible with us. We gave him a declaration of friendship. Now, we talked about what happens if he also gives us a declaration of friendship.
Yeah.
But we saw in pronouncements, there's also a... Okay, you don't see it here. Let me grab another AI. The declaration of rivalry. So what would have happened if Skogan went like, well, you might want to be friends. I have no interest in this.
Yeah, that would have actually countered our friendship and basically broke off the pact, and that means we're moving in a different direction. So instead of getting the plus 300 relation points, they're actually going to work towards minus 300, which is effectively breaking up diplomacy entirely for the relation. And it also gives them a good bonus because any grievance they get on us will be 40% stronger. So
yeah, so basically, if we had done this at when we decided, wait, you know, Yalan, we don't like you that much. You're losing this war. You're a weakling. We're gonna declare a rivalry on you, and then broken that treaty. Instead of 6, we would have gotten.
Well, in this case, if they declared a rivalry on us, then definitely it would have gotten the 40% extra, so it would have been 8. But in this case, they also they violated our sector claim. Our province there was taken. The gold mine that was rightfully ours was taken away by them, and that would have made a big difference actually.
Right. Yep.
Plus 25 points would have actually made a very big difference there.
It would have, because you said minor war declaration. There are different stages of justified wars, right?
Yes. Yes, it goes from minor to a normal, and then eventually to a fully justified war, which is when you have at least 51 points. So it is a lot, but it's definitely not impossible, especially if you declare a rivalry.
Or if you fabricate grievances yourself.
Yes, yeah, that's always a option if you need some points real quick, or at least within 5 turns.
You just have to be willing to spend the gold and the mana on this one.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've shown a great deal of the diplomacy, like you said. But there's even more, and they can read all about it
Yes.
in your Dev Diary, which is live about now. Should be live now.
Yes, it's coming out at the same time, roughly. And we'll also, of course, link to this video in the Dev Diary. And also don't forget to wishlist and...
Pre-order.
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
Like, pre-orders have, I think, been doing really well. A lot of people have been very excited, and they love what we're showing. So don't forget to check out the Dev Diary written by Tom himself. Don't forget to wishlist, pre-order, or just join the community. Join our Discord. Leave messages on Steam or Reddit. We did an AMA last week. And generally, we're very active, sometimes too active. It's not great for the weekends. Anyways, thank you very much. And next time, we'll hopefully be back with a different Tom.
Yes.
All
we
right.
have still plenty more Toms to go, so...
We're halfway done.
Yes.
All right. Have a good day, and see you guys later.
Yes. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.